Today, I'm going to share with you perhaps the most important secret when it comes to your job search strategy or opening up a business, changing careers, negotiating a salary. And this secret tool that I'm going to talk to you about is labor market information. And what is labor market information? Basically, it's a collection of data, quantitative, qualitative data that is used to basically identify and tell us what trends are going on in the economy and in the workforce, right? And why is that important? What can it do for you? Well, labor market information gives us access to trending occupations and industries, economic data in certain areas and what's going on, all of the other factors. It also includes things like, is an occupation declining, right? It tells you average salaries in particular areas for particular occupations. And why is that important? That's important because when you need to go in and negotiate a salary, or you're looking at jobs and you want to know if you're getting a fair offer, you want to know, is that number too high, too low? Is this something that when I get this job offer, I can accept? And should I accept it? Labor market information is having the power of knowledge in order to affect what you want in your outcome when it comes to that salary, right? People who oftentimes negotiate their salary, get a higher starting pay, therefore make more over their lifetime. And labor market information can tell us these things. So it is very, very important. It's important to know also because if you are looking to switch careers, you don't want to go into a career that is declining. You want to go into something that is booming. You want to go into something that is going to keep growing, right? Because if you're not, then it's going to be harder to find jobs for you. Okay. So again, where can I find this labor market information that I need to use in order to make informed career planning decisions? Again, job searching in the correct fields, occupations, the correct places. You know, people make moving decisions off of labor market information. So I really like to use tools that are local to me. There are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, onnetonline.org, tons of really, really great resources. But I like to use ruralcapitalheadlight.com, which was created specifically for rural capital area, and it's going to highlight our particular information when it comes to the economic trends and workforce development in our 9-county area. Okay. Also, Work in Texas. Work in Texas is an amazing labor market information tool. There are so many different things that you can look at in Work in Texas. One of my favorite things is to be able to look at what is that average salary, let's say, for a computer network specialist on average in Williamson County or Hayes County. And can I compare that to what's going on in Travis County? Can I compare that to what's going on in Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, right? Can I compare it to what's going on in Lee County, Fayette County? And that's the great thing about Work in Texas is that you can. So when you are going and looking at, on average, what does someone in the middle range, the lower end, or the higher end make? And so I am equipped and prepared to have that salary conversation with that employer who is making me a job offer. And I know based on that number, my years of experience and my certifications, what I should accept or should I counter offer. Labor market information will again also tell you what certifications and training are needed for particular occupations, fields of interest to you. Okay, so this is a huge tool that you have to use in your job search, career planning, so you can make advised decisions and do the right thing for you. That's going to give you that sustainable employment and that living wage. You can go into Work in Texas right here. You can click on labor market information. You can choose the area that you want to look at, type in a job title, right? I use the example computer network specialist, right? And so I can go in and type that in Work in Texas, click search, and I am going to get information galore. I'm going to get a full report. I'm going to be able to access videos. I'm going to be able to see what the demand is. If I keep going down, I'm going to be able to look at the salaries, the supply and demand in Texas. So all of these things are super important, and you can look at all of them just on Work in Texas, and I highly recommend that. Also, I want you to visit Workforce Solutions Rural Capital Area.com. And next time, I'm going to be talking about a specific tool that we have that you are going to love. If you are job searching, if you're planning your next career, your first career, you have got to join me for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for being here today to listen to labor market information and what I'm trying to share with you about how important it is to get out there and become informed on what you need to know for the labor market. Join us next time. You won't be disappointed. We'll see you at next Tuesday Talks.